I think I'm live. Am I live? Looks like I am. Hello, everyone. Sorry, yesterday Wi-Fi trouble, so I couldn't make the live. So thank you for joining me today. I will stop today at just before the 3 minutes because I have another group waiting for me. So we'll be together just up to the 3 minutes, and then we can meet each other in the field of consciousness. So thank you for another day, and there's so much I like to share with you, and I always try to think what is the quickest thing I can share in this snippets of 10 minutes or less before we come together. And I feel it's really important to talk about the sentient fields and expand on that. And so let us imagine that we are a vortex of electromagnetic, which we are. We are an electromagnetic being, emitting electromagnetics and receiving electromagnetics. And the Earth, the planet Earth, is an electromagnetic body. And we know, most of us know, that there are Earth energies, and they are also electromagnetics, and they run like currents across the planet. And many have studied this since ancient times, and pretty much all of the research comes into a sacred geometry around the Earth. And the sacred geometry is the same sacred geometry of our body, the same sacred geometry of all of life on planet Earth. And this is, a lot of people say that this is the icosahedron. Icosahedron. Sorry, excuse me for that. If you want to know more, because I don't have time to talk about it, then get back at me if you watch this video at some point later and ask me questions. So the body of the Earth is electromagnetic. We are electromagnetic. There is a sacred geometry around the Earth. The currents are navigating through the Earth, and they have converging points, which we call them nodal points. And those nodal points, specific all around the Earth, have been pinpointed by ancient man. So ancient civilizations that had the wisdom and the knowledge to connect the stars to the Earth knew to pinpoint those locations. And they knew even more than that. They knew that they could heal themselves, and they could rise in consciousness. They could have awareness and higher consciousness experiences in those locations. And so they became places where the tribe would meet, where councils would take place, the druids would meet in those locations. And certainly here, ancient Egypt, the temples are dotted all across the River Nile. The River Nile is another big electromagnetic current. It's water, but it's also Earth energy, because it's standing on the Earth. So it is double whammy strength. Okay, how long have I got? Okay, so imagine that we are a light, a point of light. And if we are in our frequency, if we are in our signature frequency, what I call the frequency of your sequence of, it's like a sacred geometry, mathematical equation, which is a sequence. And each and every one of us has our own frequency sequence. And I call this the signature because I do, but you can call it something else. It doesn't matter what we call it. It's about understanding that it's existing, that it's happening, and that helps us in rising in consciousness. So when we are in our center, we become this powerful force. We become a force when we are in our fullness signature sequence. That means that we're making the right choices, that we are loving our body and taking care of it, that we are practicing spiritual hygiene. We're taking care of our energy. We're making sure that situations, events, and people that drain us or somehow this are disharmonizing our field stay away. And so we learn to protect our space and to build upon the space so much that we become a force. So this is what we're doing in the 3 minutes. We're becoming a force. And then this very force that you are with your own frequency, when you come into contact with these nodal points convergences on the earth, something happens. There is a magnitude in I could say is an agreement between you and earth and sky, but beyond that there is the physics of all of this electricity coming together. Something happens, and it does assist in rising in consciousness, and it does assist in arriving at the higher mind, at harnessing information from the field of consciousness, which is intelligence for any of us. So to find solutions for your daily life, for finding heightened perception, vision of your purpose in this incarnation, for assisting you in making choices that will open up the next level, the next cycle for your evolution. So you with yourself become a force when you are in tune, when you are harmonizing with your frequency sequence. And this is something that you bring with you from the moment you arrive on the planet. And I can talk for hours about that, but I'm watching the time. So I hope this helps. I hope this is clear. Another very important thing, and we all know this, is nature. Nature has a sacred geometry frequency that activates our own frequency sequence. You see, we are part of nature. We are part of the planet. This body is borrowed materials from this earth. And so when we choose to be in this awareness, sitting in the seat of the soul, and we choose to then go in nature to do that, nature itself assists us in calibrating. We become one with all of the fields of consciousness. For example, in a forest, all of the trees, all of the pebbles on the path, all of the birds. This happens. I want to say there's so many stories I want to tell you about how this happens, but trust that it does. Go and practice it. Go and play at it. Go and play and see if it's real for yourself. Connecting with the fields of consciousness, connecting with your inner being, fields of consciousness, nature, and then finding a spot that you maybe know that is a power place around you. I'm going to come off here to be with another group, so I wish you a good rest of your day and sending you so much love, and I'll connect with you in the field of consciousness. Thank you for being with me one more day. Much, much love.